Hi everyone, this is Karak from ACG, and today I'm sweaty, furious, and most likely suffering nerve damage as I bring to you the review for Guitar Hero Live, the newest in the line of finger karaoke simulators using fake guitars to fool you into thinking you look and sound approximately 70% cooler than you ever are. Guitar Hero Live comes to us in a whole new form from its predecessors, with a revamped controller but still just pressing buttons, a new live set piece viewpoint, and Guitar Hero TV, a new way to deliver content that's either going to revolutionize this series or leave a smoldering crater where good taste in your wallet used to be. So let's check it out and we'll see. If you like the review, please subscribe. So here it is, the review for Guitar Hero Live. Sitcom fake audiences, performance anxiety, finger cramps, and working through crap set lists to get to that one song you actually like. Graphics are up first. You know, there are a couple changes to the past games. With the new guitar, which I will get to in a bit, the guitar highway icons have also changed, indicating which level the guitar's buttons you're supposed to hit, the high ones or the low ones. For the most part, the instrument graphics are somewhat the same, though there is a good deal of customability if you make it that far. The big change here, though, in Guitar Hero is the bolt tracking camera that went to record live session musicians faking like they were Nickelback or One Republic. And occasionally they look at you like you ran timed miles without a shower when you mess up, or smile provocatively at you, or embarrassingly enough give you that pointed finger respect gesture you deserve when you hit a good number of notes in a row. As an immersion piece, it's hard to argue with, as it usually looks somewhat real. However, it also looks real. And what do I mean by that? Well, I mean, as it looks real, it also looks embarrassingly staged. And the fact is that they went and recorded and filmed many different takes, play the same song in the same location. All of it starts to feel samey. It makes me wonder what could have been done with typical animated graphics and the power of these new systems. I would have been interested to see my own character and what they could have looked like, because here, you're pretty much the faceless dude who either plays like he's supposed to, or for some reason is the only person on the entire team capable of sucking to the point that the repeated crowds in front of you yell for the entire band's extermination. Now, graphically, it is good and crisp, and when playing on stage with the film footage, it actually is very cool looking to look out on the crowd. I would say good graphics overall, but it's going to be a huge, massive point of contention with a lot of folks. I thought it was fine. Almost everybody with me thought it was absolutely terrible looking, but I don't think anyone can deny that you can see a lot of work went into this. Sound, music, and voice. And sound is up first. Listen, if any of these three categories suck, the game isn't even going to get out of the starting gates, and though you're not working with masters, everything for the most part sounded good and clean, though there were a couple tracks that had a decidedly low bitrate sound to them that I couldn't quite put my finger on. Now, that does mean that when you mess up, because you're not working with masters, the whole soundtrack just sort of dampens, and it doesn't have the fidelity of past systems. And many fans are probably going to notice that right off the bat, because you can end up losing the beat of the song if it goes down too low, which it can. Now, this was done so that more bands could actually put their music in the game, so I get that. But if you're a fan of the way the separate tracks were mixed in the previous games and in Rock Band currently, it's not the same way here. Music. Well, this is where we will discuss what the game comes with. It comes with less than 50 tracks on the disc. Now, there is a reason, because Guitar Hero has a ton of content online for various contests, in-play packs, and other types of offerings, but offline folks or those with spotty connections are gonna need to think really, really hard about this entire game. Additionally, the tracks just sort of seem out there in their choosing, and that's always been a problem with Guitar Hero, but it seems more so here. You know, when you're playing sets in your fake band, many times the real footage, odd song choices, and everything else just sort of comes together to make me sort of feel less than I'm in the moment. I don't think anyone is going to jump for joy at the disc's contents originally. Now, however, there are tons, hundreds of songs actually packed into the various themes on Guitar Hero TV, which is the online component. You'll log into that, you get into the game, you can play those. Now, there is a massive positive to all of this change, and that's the fact that they are not looking at doing some kind of yearly release for this title. This music, the way it's revolving like this, will mean that you'll probably be playing the same title for a while. Now, I'm not quite sure if we're going to get new stage sets and new musicians and stuff like that, but that's a positive for sure. Gameplay. First, let's just talk about the controller, because it is different, removing the long button list and instead utilizing 3 main fingers, and instead of having more buttons in a line, it just stacks 3 on top of 3, resulting in an almost instantly more natural and interesting gameplay style. It absolutely takes a while to get used to, but for me, it just clicked and I am in love with the new format. Other than that, it's still got the whammy bar. It cuts the circulation off of your strumming hand over time if you're sitting back at the wrong angle. And of course, it requires AA batteries, which you will probably get and they would be dead just like mine were. If I was rating just the guitar, I would say it is a vast improvement in the overall playability, if not the comfort, just by a little bit. Now, once you jump in, you can play live, which are with the fake bands, as I said, along different sets, choosing difficulty and location. Quick play, which allows you to choose the songs you like and then just jump in and play them. And Guitar Hero TV, where music is grouped into channels and you can play them with all manner of contests and leaderboards and Activision's promised continual updates. Here also, there's bits like you being able to play your guitar during the actual band's music video. It's gonna be interesting to see what goes away in the next half of a year versus what stays when it comes down to this. Because here's the problem, whenever anybody mentions revolving, I always think of the things leaving, especially if they're some of my favorite songs. Now, one excellent thing that's included in some of this is the premium content, which can be achieved via gameplay or the always lovable mobile one-click purchases of Guitar Hero ducats, or whatever they're calling their cash. For example, Avenged Sevenfold from October 20th through I think like November 2nd will be available to play with in the live stages, resulting in the experience of a lifetime. If your lifetime's wrapped up in playing along with FMV versions of Avenged Sevenfold trying to hide how embarrassed they are. All joking aside, it's handled with professionalism and care, and for those that this sounds interesting to, they're probably going to end up loving it. Now, another thing to mention is I feel that the difficulties have had a good deal more measurement across the difficulty entries, and things are introduced at each step, which just feels a little bit more organic and natural, including different advanced techniques like hammer-ons and pull-offs when you would expect them to be. A lot of times, Guitar Hero Live feels like a big gameplay improvement wrapped with a somewhat niche shell. The new guitar really did change my opinion very fast. It feels more enjoyable and allows for a bit more complex fingerwork, while at the other end of the spectrum, you have stuff like the extra things, the recorded bands, not in the premium content, and the presentation itself, feeling like it would be attractive to a very select few people, as it really does just have a feeling of being amazingly corny, like the original titles were as well, but instead of being self-aware, this game is vastly not. It's cool dads doing air guitar to Winger in front of your friends, and what he sees in his mind's eye isn't at all what ends up scarring kids for life. That being said, the service of offering online content in bigger concert venues from groups like Avenged and later Weezer is actually really cool, and replacing the corny, odd overacting of the content pieces seen earlier with that real footage, I actually enjoyed the premium content that I played. I thought it was very, very well done. But at the same time, with Activision's caginess on how the content is chosen and if old content stays, how new content comes in, they just keep saying please be excited to a group that's already excited, but each group seems excited for completely different things. Fun factor. Hey, I had fun. The guitar is a step above everything else, and though the vocals didn't receive the change to gameplay like the guitar, it still works fine, but you can feel a tangible impression that it's called Guitar Hero for a reason, not Band Hero or Hero Band or Group Musical Set Piece Constructor. Additionally, the leveling system is really well represented and unlocks come at a good pace, and though you can pay for the premium content, as I said, you don't have to, and one of those ways is to basically play and see some of the stuff as you get leveled up and unlock things, especially things like free plays. Also, there won't be drums. Activision's been firm on that, so if you're a fan of digital versions of fake pagan skin sets, this is not the game for you. So I rate games on a buy, wait for a sale, rent, or never talk about it again rating scale. Here's the issue. The game is solid underneath, but all the question marks concerning content means I'm just not sure if $100 is a fair starting price for so few songs and being at the mercy of a big company's decision on what's going to be available day to day. In the past, the discs had a good deal of content on them, and with the DLC, hell, you could just unplug your system and not worry about them being able to remove stuff. Here, you could sign in one day and it could all just be gone, or at least your favorite songs, and that makes it impossible for me to say, go out and buy it. If you're a Guitar Hero fan and you like what's available, well then, I say go for it, but check into it a little bit. Do some investigation. For those on the edge, though unusual, I actually think the edge is the safest place to be at the moment from a purely financial standpoint. So anyway, that's it for me. I hope you guys liked the review. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, always feel free to give a thumbs down, and peace out.